Okay, hello everyone. Welcome back to another podcast. Today we're going to talk about English as a lingua franca. And first of all, I have a question for you, Hjalte. What are some of the reasons driving the move towards English as a corporate standard in Rakuten?
Yeah, well, that's a good question. I would say that one of the major reasons changing to English is to be more competitive on the global market, and because the language on the global market is English. Um, because of that, they have been able to like Raccoon has been able to expand outside Japan. Besides that, it's also easier for the customer to contact and get answers from Rakuten by this lingua franca language.
Nice.
And then for you, Mr. Rasmus, I have a question for you. What are the obstacles that a company may experience when implementing a one language policy?
Well, one of the biggest obstacles was that the employers found it very difficult to implementing a one language policy. And they were not used to speaking English in their everyday life, and therefore it was kind of difficult for them. And some of them start thinking of the future in the company because of the language barrier. And Magnus, which problems do non-native speakers of English encounter when English is adopted as a corporate standard?
Yeah, okay. The problems non-native speakers can face are that they cannot comprehend or complete their jobs to full potential because they found it hard to maybe understand or speak the English language. Okay, Hjalte, I have a quote for you. Jet Japan continues to work inside a linguistic bubble. Please explain what this means.
Well, this linguistic bubble means that the Japanese lives in a world by native Japanese, and they are not this. They don't want to change their minds and languages, and they don't want to learn from other cultures, and this is the reason why Japan lives in this linguistic bubble, and therefore it's pretty hard to cooperate with Japanese companies like Rakuten for non-Japanese companies. And for you, Rasmus, how does Japan rank in English fluency? And which factors might explain this ranking?
According to the text, Japan is placed as number 13, and that could be explained by that they live in a linguistic bubble. Okay, Magnus, I have a question for you. What were some of the challenges Rakuten encountered when the company adopted English as its corporate language?
Alright, the major challenge was that the employees could not speak the language and it gave them many challenges. Okay, Hjalte, for you, in which areas has this decision paid off?
Well, I would say that this decision has paid off outside of Japan, because it gave them the opportunities to like expand outside their own country. Um, yeah, and for you, Rasmus, what are the advantages and disadvantages of ELF?
The advantages is that the company is more competitive on the global market, and one of the disadvantages is that the employers is not able to complete their jobs to full potential. And Magnus, many people also speak Mandarin. Find out how many will Mandarin be next. Why and why not?
Alright, 1.117 billion people speaks Mandarin, but I think that Mandarin will not be the next lingua franca because it's so hard to learn. Uh, what could companies do to ease the process of converting the primary language of a company?
Well, they have to educate their employees in the new language that they want to convert to, because then you have to do it systematically, and you cannot learn them the new language overnight. And for you, Rasmus, do you think being forced to speak other language at work will strip you of your cultural heritage?
Yes, I think so, because when your native language and you work in your own country, you obviously find it much easier to talk your native language and maybe more safe. And the last question for you, Magnus. Do you know of any Danish companies that have adopted English as their corporate language? If so, what may be the reasons for doing so?
Actually, I don't think so. Maybe a company like Maersk or Novo Nordisk, but according to what I remember, they haven't adopted English as their number one language. So I don't think so. Thank you for listening, guys. See you next time.